Hello, quilting friends. Happy Feature Friday, everybody. Today we are going to do a follow-up to last week's Feature Friday where we were working with our offset while we were in nesting, and we went through our first 2 rows, and today I'm going to go through the 3rd row, and that way you have kind of the whole process so that you can do this yourself. I'm sure some of you probably already guessed how to do the 3rd row, but for those of you who are new to automation, or maybe you're just a little unsure of the process, here's how you do the 3rd row. Let's go ahead and turn around. So this is the row that we stitched out for row number 2, where we added an extra design here on the end so that we had the offset. Remember, we moved our whole design off to the left and then had to fill in an extra design on the end so that we filled in kind of our half spaces. But now it's time to nest, and we're not going to need this extra guy on our next row. So we're going to look at how to do that. Once again, we go right to our nesting feature at the bottom right-hand corner of our screen. We're still in home after we finish stitching out this row. I'm going to hit our nesting. And it says select and mark your nesting point. So you do this as normal. You find your point on your quilt that you like to use. And you all know that I am one who drops my needle in my quilt. So I'm gonna put my needle down. But if you don't like to do that, you use your fabric safe marking tool, whether it's a pen, a pencil, or chalk. Just do what you're comfortable with. And I know you guys are seeing this. I did already fill in this section. I just want to go back over this for you guys. So I've dropped that down. So I selected my marking point. I'm going to hit my check mark, and it's time to roll the quilt. So we're going to release and roll our quilt. And once again, I am going to be very careful not to tug too hard with that needle in my fabric. And like I said, I've already quilted out the rest of this quilt. So me rolling is just pretend for you guys so you can see the whole process. I'm going to lock into place. I have rolled my quilt, so I'm going to hit the check mark, move the machine to the nesting point. If you put your needle down in your fabric, you're already at your nesting point. But if you didn't, you're going to move your machine to hover back over that point you marked with your pen or pencil. I'm going to hit the check mark. So now it's time to move the machine to place our nested row. If you've got that needle down in your fabric, this is where you pull it back up. So I've pulled it back up so I can move my machine around. I'm going to hit that cross here that's got the little arrows so that I can move around all I want. And we move to the left for the 2nd row, so I'm going to move to the right for the 3rd row. So I've moved my designs off to the right, and now I'm going to push my machine away from me so that I can get these pretty little designs kind of nested and snug in there. And let's see here. That's looking pretty good. So I like how that looks. It's pretty close together. So we are good. So I'm going to hit the check mark here. So now I've got my new row. I don't know if you saw that flash up there. It said nesting complete. So now I've got row number 3, but I've got this extra design hanging out on the end that I don't need for this row. So I need to get rid of this. And to do that, I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to go to my repeat up here at the top, and I'm simply going to remove 1 repeat by using my minus button. And now I'm back down to 5 designs. So I can go ahead from here and go to home, make sure I engage my needle, and start my stitch out process with my green button. So this way, our first row was 5 designs, our 2nd row was 6 designs, and our 3rd row is back to 5 designs. And as you can see here on my quilt, so I've got a row here that's 6 designs. I've got 5 designs across, and my final row in here ended up 6 designs. It's stitched a little over the edge of my quilt, and I'm okay with that. So this is kind of an every other row process. So you'll start out with 1 amount of designs, and every other row you'll either add or subtract to get the proper number. Well, I hope that helps you guys finish off your offsetting of your pretty little quilt designs when they're very large and you can't fit them in your quilt space for one layout area. That's your easy way of doing it and getting it to fit going down your quilt. I hope that works out for all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you real soon.